Welcome, everybody. We'll switch ACCM over to the red, and we've got the round 2 series for ACCM and Nicov, who will both have been very happy after their first rounds. Opening rounds for them was dominance. In ACCM's series, it was a tougher test, I would say. Oh, shoot. I don't have the groups memorized yet. Is this it? Nope. I'm so sorry. We'll get it up eventually. Nicov won 3-0, which you'll see on screen once I get the correct group. And then ACCM won 2-1 over Lewis, but Lewis's level was extremely high there. So I think while he didn't get the 3 wins, he will be very happy. He got the 2. The winner here will go top of the group, at least until Sebastian, Freakin' Andy, and Lewis have something to say about it in their later sets. And we've got Stranded. It should also be possible for me to get the draft up here for you. I believe this is going to be it, but we've got, yeah, that's the draft there. Perfect. So just a lot to take in here. We've got 3 maps, of course. 2 of these maps were played in the prior series, so we get a good feel for the meta on them. But Zimbabwe is the one where you're looking at Spanish, Malay, Portuguese, Cumans, Bengalis. Those are the civs we'll probably see played on the closed maps. Italians, very flexible in that they have the cheaper dock technologies, they have the cheaper fishing ships, and the cheaper age up. I definitely think Italians is the more common pick here. But guys, I actually have this memory flooding back. Maybe someone wants to fact check. But you see that first pick from Nicov? I think ACCM played this civ in Wandering Warriors Cup 2 on Stranded. The more I think about it. He played a lot of Aztecs and Incas here. And the idea is with Incas, you have the cheaper houses. Or sorry, not the cheaper houses, but your houses give you more pop space. So you save a lot of wood. So that is like benefiting your fishing ship count. And then you have very cheap skirms. You have cheap eagles. You can flood the map in the middle with the eagles, skirms, archers. Can get very messy here. So, but first pick from Nicov is wild to me. I wouldn't have expected it being a first pick. Italians, again, the more typical pick. We've seen this more frequently, but Nikov's one who's usually very prepared. Thank you, Thisney. Thisney? Is that how I'm saying it? Thisney. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Rocket, thank you for the 18. But yeah, the wood becomes so important in the middle, and all the elevation is in the middle. Nicov looking for the elephant. We'll bring in the elephant. Also is bringing in a lot of cows right now, a lot of water buffalo. He's actually scouting with his llama. Bro, you got this for free. This is your civ bonus. Well, to the guy in the dev boardroom who decided to give Inca a free llama as their civ bonus, I hope you're happy now, because this is what Nicov thinks of that. There used to be this little detail. I guess the llama has less food than the water buffalo, so you would want to lose the llama. And all right, it's the Italian bonus now, baby. That's funny. ACCM's llama now. But in the past, the llamas used to have a little bit more vision than a sheep. So it was actually the correct play to scout with your llama and then eat your sheep. But I think they made the vision on all the herdables the same now. I'm a real weird guy, but that bothered me because I like details like that, and they removed the detail. But okay, ACCM's got the llama now. Maybe the llama will go home because ACCM will probably want to find out where Nicov is as well. This is unlike the Hera and the Yo game, where the fishing ship count was the same. Or sorry, that is not what I wanted to say. Where the fishing ship count was way off and the eco count was not the same. It is the same here because both players are really prepped and have really good civs for this. T90, can we expect early gameplay vid of new civs from content creators? So I want to do casts of it, but Capture Age is not set up to do it right now. So I'm hoping that they do that for me. I think when the new patch comes out, then I will be able to do some casts. I'm uploading tomorrow. Once the embargo lifts, there's a time they give us. We can upload some stuff. An overview of the civs. I'm reading some of the stuff that Microsoft said about the civs, which is already available. And then I'm also showing the in-game tech tree, talking through some of the specifics of like costs and how the bonuses work. And then I will also show some gameplay footage in that. But for me, the best way to learn about a civ and the best way to have content is to have matchups and to cast it. But that's been a little disappointing for me because Dave and I played some games and we made some horrible mistakes. We were learning, but I can't cast them yet because Capture Age isn't set up for it. So I spoke to them. I'm hoping that'll happen. Like I understand it, I think the DLC will come out and then Capture Age will work. So that's in a couple days. But it's a lot for me to run this whole tournament, to cast every game that we are, and then also to have the new DLC and try and make content for it. ACCM found this elephant. So he's got that. He's on the way to Feudal Age. He's building the barracks, so he will play towards Land Army. Nicov also building the barracks. I think Nicov also wants to go for a second dock here. I'm curious on if Nicov will go Eagles and Fires. That's what I think makes this Civ strong here. Because normally you have to choose between the second dock and the archer range. But if you just don't go for the archer range and you just produce only out of the barracks, go Man-at-Arms, and then just Eagles, it could be sneaky strong here, I think. And fishing ships are going to be good for Nicov. The 2 docks will eventually produce some fires, but we'll see once he's up. It does feel like Nicov wants the archer range with his positioning. I like this positioning. Just being out in front of your woodline like this is really nice. The way ACCM has done this is also fine, but in Castle Age, you still don't have any of this area locked down. This is just a very safe approach. The llama is back to Nicov now. We'll see how this llama does. Next person to subscribe, we'll name the llama after you. Don't know if that's a big selling point, but if I know chat, maybe somehow that'll do something. Nicov wants damage with the Man-at-Arms. It is a tough map to do damage on with Man-at-Arms because usually a lot of the wood, the gold, and the food is all around that town center. I think Nicov is finding that out right now. And Nicov did build the archer range on the hill. Okay, Cruise. Really, guys? Really? This is what does it. Being named after a llama. Really? Hiker Boy too? I'm actually offended. I mean, we've got Water Buffalo around. I'll do what I have to do. But, like, everything else we've done, I guess my schedule was kind of scuffed today, so that wasn't impressive. Thank you, though. Thank you, Hiker Boy. Thank you, Badashi. Thank you, Gaming Legend. Unfortunately, the llama goes to Cruise. Nicov got a little house there, but I think that's because he's producing a lot on water. And ACCM also up to the second dock. ACCM's archers chasing down the Man-at-Arms. So far, the Man-at-Arms have done very little for Nicov. But I guess he does delay this elephant from being brought in, which he probably doesn't know about. But ACCM definitely wanted that. He doesn't have a lot of food underneath the town center. Nicov does, and Nicov still has crews over there to eat. Thank you, Rock Your Face, as well. Welcome in. T90, can you make a llama sound? I can, but I'm not going to, because that will be clipped. We can't have that. I made a camel sound one time, and it was my most watched clip over a 2-year span. I think that person view-botted it. It was a very weird chatter, but yeah, no thanks. I think I will hold back on my animal sounds for now. ACCM gets his elephant. Nicov. Nice little control. Just playing passive on water. ACCM actually backed off, though. Sometimes if you run into that choke point, you can just get demoed, and it can snowball on you, so... Both players have economies to manage, and they have to work out a game plan. Still no eagles from Nicov, so it's just skirms. And you can just tell both these players respect each other so much. They recognize how strong the other is. Being extremely patient, but I think ACCM will be happy. At least kill off the Man-at-Arms, weaken some skirms a little bit. Yeah, here they'll meet in the choke. This is where demos are going to become really common. And one demo can swing the game. Yeah, they're both microing their ships. And Nicov will probably back up. I expect a demo this way, and I expect a demo this way as well. We actually have a stable from ACCM. Interesting. He's going to go scouts. I mean, scouts make sense if you're expecting full skirm, and you do have to respect how cheap those Inca skirms are. Whoa! Part-time Buddha with a €110 donation on YouTube. Says, we demand a T90 llama voiceover. What? Really? Is that the price of my pride? €110? Is that what it's going to come down to? You demand it? This is a serious tournament, guys. This is a serious tournament. A serious tournament, which is becoming less serious by the day, I guess. I mean, you just want me to make this llama noise? It's not even... How am I supposed to do that? Sounds like a... It sounds like Nicov is overextended here. Nicov is overextended. Nicov was never expecting this. Is he here? He's looking on water. Nicov is looking on water, and his skirms can't even run away. That engagement for Nicov is somehow worse than the llama sound I'm about to make. I had no clue, guys. He was micring on the water. He was micring on the shoreline. I'm certain of it. I think the micro was good, but his skirms completely overextended. Now he tries to add the spearman. The spearman gets sniped. That is amazing for ACCM. And the beauty of it for ACCM as well is that he could still stabilize on water. I think he lost some ships over there, but if he holds here with a demo or two, he could still be fine. It's what's so tricky about this map, because the water is so valuable and the land is so valuable. Nicov needs a big engagement on water now to be okay with how this is going. And so far, this is really good. It comes down to the demos coming in from ACCM. Nicov drops a tower. Nikov's tower is hitting the archers. ACCM's busy looking at his fish. Nicov loses all but one fire there. But man, the production buildings on the front are so painful now, right? You need more army, but you can't really add it. He has to add an archer range behind. I really like ACCM's position here. He's on the way to Castle Age. It should be fairly easy for him to add a fire or two to stabilize the fishing situation. This Scout Edition was so good. And it isn't common. A lot of people won't do it because they're really worried they'll delay their Castle Age time. But the fact that he's still able to click up is amazing. That's still a very quick uptime for ACCM. He will defend on water, I think. And it could be more archers. It could be light cav. It could be knights. And Nikov's eco is looking pretty inefficient right now. That wood line's kind of brutal. He's bringing in the elephant right now, which is out of desperation. And ACCM's fish are still fishing. He's even mixing in some farms. So yeah, this map, guys, could just turn around on you quick. Other maps, you make a mistake, it's like, oh, it's okay. But here, you don't really have a lot of res to fall back to. Another archer range for ACCM. It almost feels like he's going to play cav archers if he's not making more archers right now. And Nicov knows he's behind. Nicov knows what that engagement meant. He'll use the market and he'll click up himself. So nice job from Nicov to at least hold. But these villagers need to get out of here, man. Yeah, this whole wood line's dead if he's here. Oh, this is so bad for Nicov. What a start for ACCM. This is what Nicov gets for not eating the llama, I guess. I had to embarrass myself. What a start for ACCM. Nice find. Would have loved to see Nicov pull those vills a little earlier. He can at least produce out of both ranges now and pair up everything at home, but that Castle Age time is rough, and he knows it, and he taps out. Yeah, let's go back. We were being professional. We were talking about llamas at the time, but that was a clear instance where you had both players focusing in different areas of the map. And so, from Nikov's perspective, he has no clue that stable is there. It was completely hidden from him. It's completely against the run of play. So, he's not expecting it. And so, I think what happens here is he's pulling his demo back. Let's just watch the water engagement because we know what happened on land. Let's see. So, he goes in. Yeah, he micros his demo back. And now he's like, oh, big time for an engagement. Yeah, he micros it. That's perfect. Perfect engagement. And now I think he's realizing, like, oh, crap, maybe I'm behind on land. I don't really know when he noticed. There's a point where he tries to go back, and there's a you shall not pass moment. Yeah, there he tries to leave. So there he knows, and he's just completely body blocked. So it's unfortunate. If Nicov wouldn't have gone so far, if he would have been 5 tiles further back, he could probably fall back towards his barracks, fall back, snipe some archers, and then maybe be okay. But that was horrible. All of the skirms went down. And then, of course, he didn't immediately win water because of it. So, if he loses his skirms and he immediately wins water, I think it's an even game. But that was not the case. 2-1 KD there for ACCM. And yeah, great stuff. Love to see it from ACCM. That's what we know. He's going to be consistent. He's really tough to break. Okay, so I want to just reference the draft here as we introduce game number 2. I think this is a series where it's really valuable to do so. ACCM's in the red. ACCM won with Italians. That was his first pick. Nicov lost with the Incas. But don't look at the picks as much as the bans. I want to point out how many of these bans are dominated by civs on this map. Japanese could have been the previous map, but definitely this map. Dravidians, Burgundians, Chinese, Armenians, Koreans, Romans. I would say all of those picks are because of this map and because of infantry and eco bonuses. So I bring that up because now we have Vikings from Nicov and Wu from ACCM. We have not had that yet. And so they've had to go for picks that maybe are a little bit further down the list of civs that are viable. Now, all the civs that were banned because they can go for great economy and man-at-arms with all the shorefish to back it up. The Wu have regenerating infantry, so that's a really nice pick. You could still play that meta here with the Wu. The Vikings, they are an infantry civ. They do get free wheelbarrow, so it makes their economy very strong and stronger than other civs. So I think we could see man-at-arms from the Vikings. I also think Nicov might just want to play archers. I'm not really sure. But Nicov played Chinese in his first round that just completely destroyed. It's just not as strong as the Chinese, which again, ACCM banned. So T90, you say you're professional, but what word did you say when you combined skirmisher and spearman? Skirm and spear became something that I shouldn't have said, but that was a mistake, okay? I believe what someone tries, like someone's intention is important behind whatever action, right? And I may have accidentally said sperm instead of spear and skirm, but that wasn't what I intended, all right? If I get really exhausted, sometimes I just combine words. So it was, embarrassing. Thank you, Grilled Trees, for the 4 months. Thank you, Groose, for the new sub. Rock your face. Man, guys, this is very motivating. I know we're joking around about the whole llama thing, but seriously, the amount of support's been amazing. Thank you. It's been it's stressful behind the scenes to get things to run smoothly, and it's been really stressful in my day-to-day. So 2026 is kind of a rough start for me. This has been a lot of fun. But yeah, Nicov he cannot get swept here. Nicov needs a win in this series. Because from my perspective, I think that Running might be one of the weaker players in Platinum and in this group. So that 3-0 happiness that Nicov was feeling after round 1 could disappear very quickly if everybody else does the same. I think if Nicov snags a victory here and loses the next game, he got 1 win against one of the best players in the group, and he could still be happy, but he's going to need to be on his game. I feel like he's just... Well, he's going to build the barracks now, so it still could be man-at-arms. They're just pushing in their deer, just bringing in their boars. Eventually, all the villagers on the shorefish will be the focus of the economies, but it doesn't have to be for now. There's the barracks for ACCM. And ACCM is definitely doing what we expected. I think Nicov will do the same. Nicov seems a little bit paranoid about the early scout pressure from ACCM. So he's done the right things, and he's dropped the palisade walls, but nothing yet. T90, can you be dressed in a llama costume for the Red Bull event if you get another donation? It'd have to be a significantly larger donation than 100 euros. Like, I'd probably have to pay off staff at Red Bull to make that happen. So, I mean, we'd be talking big, big zeros on the back end of the number. And we're not negotiating this. We are not negotiating this. I'm not going to Royal Albert Hall and making a fool out of myself, okay? And that's that's not negotiable, but everyone has a number. No, I will not. I will not. Here comes the militia from Nicov. And Nicov just going to push in one last year. I think he's going to wait and try and trade off against the man-at-arms from ACCM. Because of the lack of scouting, it would feel very awkward to move forward right now. He's completely in the darkness. So maybe if you know what ACCM is going to do, you just wait it out. Because Viking man-at-arms have more HP, Wu regenerates. So if you get this one fight, like imagine if he knows about this right now. If he gets one fight and just clears it, the regen isn't a bonus that even applies. And okay, Nicov will see it. Just passing. He didn't notice. That really hurts, actually. That's almost loses the whole unit. And now there's a chance that he might need to add another unit here because he can't necessarily win the fight. I think Nicov just made up his mind. He's not going to chase. He doesn't want ACCM to control the game. He's going to wall up around his mill on the shorefish and the turtles. That's good work from Nicov. ACCM now knows he's coming towards his base, and he is to wall up. They hit Feudal Age at the same time. They'll both probably go for Man-at-Arms. A lot of players are doing this instead of the walls because the tower helps you long-term. So nice tower there from from ACCM. Archer range against no archer range. Wow. So still no range for ACCM. That's a pretty big deal. I think Nicov expects the tower and sees the tower there, so he doesn't engage. But the walls are a really nice touch here. And if he can get a couple archers, he actually doesn't have a lot on golds. He doesn't have a lot on wood either. And oh, Nicov! Oh! I took a risk there. I'm not sure about this for Nicov, though. I don't know if those villagers are going to be able to get to a mill yet. Building this tower here is certainly making life a little awkward. Nicov is just going to take down the houses from ACCM. So that seems to be his plan. And it's hard work right now on the defense, but Nicov does have wheelbarrow. I just hate this because now your villagers are going to bring the food over this way. Nicov, he expects them to go back to the TC.
$25.01. Here's my part towards the llama costume.
Thank you, Nox. We are professional stream, though. Villager goes down for Nicov, and that's just a sign of the pressure paying off for ACCM. I don't think Nicov expected the villagers to go to the mill. He expected it to go over here. Man-at-Arms still lurking around for Nicov. Range is up for ACCM. Arson's coming in for ACCM to take down the buildings. Nicov never got that upgrade, but he could get that upgrade. Nicov really hasn't made a lot of archers this game. And his villagers are stuck. Oh, God, dude. They're stuck. They're not working. He doesn't realize they're not showing his idol either. Okay, he noticed now. Now, that's a lot of inefficiency to the economy. That's kind of the focus on this map. But Nicov will hold. The game could turn around quick with ranged units. Nicov was faster to the archer range. So far, though, it hasn't been producing consistently. It's only at 60% since it's been produced. Here, it's been 85% since ACCM built the range. So that's why the numbers are even. If Nicov can't break a player in the early stages, at least a player like ACCM, sometimes he can have some issues, but I do really like Vikings in these games. I feel like you can have a awkward moment with Vikings and it still be okay. And oh no! Nicov could have killed 2 archers there. He didn't notice. Now ACCM's got the distance again. He's paying attention and he's got fletching. So much multitasking right now. Thank you, Ernst. Thank you, Edike. Back and forth game. We've only had 1 kill in this game. ACCM will build a new mill. Shorefish villagers check. We've got 10 villagers on the shorefish here. We've got about 8 here. Nicov still has to be more paranoid about the man-at-arms. And over here, Nicov traded down an archer with his man-at-arms. So another thing here is the villagers just being faster allows you to back away from the man-at-arms and use them in the fight. So, but the fact that that damage that he just did against the man-at-arm is a moot point because of the regen is also kind of good for ACCM. If I missed another dono on YouTube, I'm sorry. I could follow up on that. I'm seeing some messages here, but we got an important game right now. Love this woodline for Nicov because the woodline in the middle becomes a real problem, especially because he's chopped through most of it. Like for ACCM, this could be rated pretty heavily. So this tower's at least protecting that, but he will slowly move away from the shorefish here. Skirms and archers from Nicov will soon have fletching. Resources collected still ahead for ACCM. And guys, I don't know if there's anyone named John watching, but your distant cousin, the Jean Swordsman, could be on the way. And that is just so solid on this map. It is an anti-archer, like good against tower and TC fire swordsman, and it's super speedy, and this whole eco would be rated to death. Nicov needs some engagements before that could happen, clearly ACCM's game plan is just to get to Castle Age and get to the Jean Swordsman. Archer behind the wood line. Nicov will abandon the wood line. That's more than fine. But you're just seeing some shakiness from Nicov that you just don't get out of ACCM. He's just so well structured economically. His timing's on the attacks. I guess he has had less TC idle time, Nicov, but he needs Castle Age to be in his near future. And if he's in Castle Age and he's expecting Jean Swordsman, he might be going to Stone for Berserks, which would be sick. I think Berserks can wreck in this matchup, but that... You're a long way away from a castle. I think more realistically, that is probably just for a couple towers. He wants to build more towers to protect this. But Nikov's missing ACCM's army. ACCM's army was right there, but he passed it. They didn't see each other, though, so Nicov was expecting to run into him. Another villager kill for ACCM. Castle Age is on the way. Nikov's doing the right thing now. You can't just run back home. You're behind. You have to go get counter damage. So this is a good play. You've gone too far already. Thankfully, Wheelbarrow was in, so you could maybe get away with this Vil as he carries his fish. It's amazing he doesn't drop that thing. It's probably pretty gross, pretty slippery. That fish is actually way bigger than any of the fish in here, so I don't know what he pulled out of there, but the graphics are a little bit weird in that regard. ACCM has a couple skirms at home. This is probably fine to hold. Probably. And none of my alerts pop up from YouTube stuff, so people giving me a hard time about missing a dono. Sorry I'm casting the game. I apologize. We'll get to it. Tower coming up from Nicov again. He's just so rattled right now. So many villagers desperately building. It's not sharp. It is not clean. It is not what ACCM is bringing to the table. And ACCM's got double barracks, 600 food, and 400 gold to spam Jean Swordsman. If it was a longsword, you could hold against the tower. But Jean Swordsman have such crazy pierce armor, they can stay underneath towers for so long. Nicov probably feels dead. You want to see a player fight it here. You want to see a player hold on. Every win matters for so much. We've seen some quick tap outs from Nicov in the past. He's been better over the past few years. The first one might have felt quick to many viewers, but he was pretty far behind there. And he fought well but beyond the point where it looked bad for him. He's still doing the same here. He's still microing on the backside. Here he's garrisoning his tower. He's on the way to Castle Age. He is dropping a barracks. So I think the plan is to play in towards longswords. But the Jean Swordsmen are going to be on the way. We got a Jean Swordsman on the gold. We got a Jean Swordsman running this way. We still have the man-at-arms coming in. The skirm sitting underneath the tower. Like, it's just idle time everywhere. The villagers are going to clear this. I love how ACCM didn't send a single Jean Swordsman for that army, though. He actually sent all of the Jean Swordsmen immediately to Nikov's base because he knows that Nicov needs time right now, and he refuses to give him time. This is an absolute mess. It's horrible for Nicov. I think it's over. He's 80 seconds away from Castle Age. Nicov picked this map so he could get some early damage in against ACCM. He knows ACCM's reputation is the fighter, the super long games. But ACCM just did the exact same to him. Very quick game, very smooth game from ACCM. And he's got to be feeling really good now. Again, I think the point remains, as we'll see that third game, that Nikov's going to have to pull out a win here. And I think he's got a Civ that could do it. But in this game, it just felt like ACCM was so smooth. And Nicov just seemed rattled. He just seemed really rattled at times. Villagers being... If you look at the APM, I'm sure he was faster or... Like, it just seemed like he was doing so much right there. He was doing so much, and ACCM was just chilling, man. He was snoozing down here, 23 average APM. But he didn't have to do a lot. The core of his strategy was just to keep Nicov running around. He tracked Nikov's man-at-arms very nicely. His eco looked very smooth. Castle Age was perfect. All right, so big thing about this map is the hunt at the start. Now, I thought that we would fix one Rhino here and no one would take the risk to get the others, and I've been so wrong, okay? Nicov could be on tilt right now. He's lost the first two games. He feels like he needs a risk. Is he going to just take one Rhino and call it a day? Seems like it. This is what I expected. I expected low-risk Age of Empires. You still have two boars inside of your base. You still have the Water Buffalo. That can still take you to Castle Age. Nikov's probably going to be fine here. Over here, ACCM's doing the same. And they both have, well, Nicov used his scout to help. And now is going forward to block ACCM. ACCM is using palisade walls like a god. It shows a lot of confidence and shows a lot of practice. I'm not perfect with that. That's what I do. I do the house aggro or de-aggro. Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good for both. I am wondering if they will choose to bring villagers out again. There's a total of 8 elephants out here. Sorry, 7 elephants and then 2 more rhinos, which you could come out and take. But I just don't think so. Like, type a 1 in chat if you saw the clip of Stone Please on this map against Classic Pro. That was insane. I think it's a YouTube short. If not, it'll be a YouTube short very soon. This guy had no loom against an eagle. Wait, hold up. What's Nicov doing? Nikov's using his scout. Hold on. Pause the story. ACCM can see the elephant moving, and he's like, hold up. What's going on there? And does Nicov know? Does Nicov know that ACCM's there because he saw him next to his wall? Nicov is trying to run away now and do a loop-de-loop because he knows he's waiting. And now ACCM is trying to block this. Okay, I will continue the story on the other incident in a moment. But it was crazy. He brought in like 5 with no loom. This could be smart, though. If you're going to play monks, this could be really smart because you could just heal up your scout later on. If Nicov makes this happen, well played to him. But he can't go too far from the elephant. And oh my goodness. That was beautiful. And Nicov says, go lure. Nicov knows what he's doing. He knows. He knows we're watching. He knows there's an audience. And he's like, go away, bro. Go away. Go lure. But now, funnily enough, now that Nikov's scout is weak, Nicov can't disrupt a villager coming forward. So honestly, if there was a time for ACCM to attempt this, he should try it now. And Nicov then says ASD, which I think is just maybe he's got a hotkey issue or a keyboard issue. I don't think that's supposed to mean anything. I remember in the old AIM days, AOL Instant Messenger, I'm maybe make myself seem a little old here, but you would say ASL. But yeah, we got to pause. Hopefully no lag or any issues here. So now the big focus is going to be the gold. You have 5 tiles of gold in your base. Nicov had a super lag. Good thing he didn't have a super lag when he was bringing in the elephant. But yes, 5 tiles of gold in your base. The rest of the gold is to the north now. Okay? So you've got lots of gold and stone on the map. A lot of this is exposed outside your walls, which is very different than Arena. If you want the bigger wood lines, you'll probably see players wall this way to the backside and have the wood lines there. But when you see Spanish for ACCM, you're expecting conquistadors. When you see Bengalis from Nicov, you're expecting the Ratha or monks. It could do other things, but the Bengalis have the superior eco. Spanish probably have the superior unit. Conquistadors are one of the best units in the game. Moving up, says T90, you were like 4 back then? I was not 4. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of my time on AIM. I was playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 at that time. So, my family, I grew up in a sheltered family, so my parents were not a very big fan of, like, you know, social media and like online talking to strangers on the internet. I'll never forget the first time I went to an Age of Empires event, and there was going to be like 8 people there. And my parents were so worried, man. They're like, oh, no, an internet stranger? They thought my kidneys were going to be stolen and sold. They thought I was never going to make it home. Now, at this point, they're kind of used to it. I think there's still the worry that someone might steal my kidneys, but I still have them. So I think my parents are... They realize that maybe you guys aren't here to kill me, you know? You're here to make me make llama noises, which is arguably weirder. Another pause for Nicov. I'm guessing his internet is acting up. Hopefully not a concern. I would be okay if they wanted to do a restore. Sometimes restoring the game smooths things out a little bit. But villagers on stone already for ACCM. The plan is definitely to castle. Nicov, if I were to guess, it would be monks. But I could be wrong. Okay, we've got a DM from the admin.
Yes.
Ah. Nicov was asking the admin. Nicov is telling the admin, my deer are bugged. I don't have my deer. And the admin just basically said to him, you don't have a bugged map. So now Nicov is like, really? I think this is a bugged map. And he's like, ah. That's funny. Yeah, you can't, like, it's a tricky one. You can't tell the player's details there. They're like, my map is bugged. I don't have my deer or my zebra in this case. You just say your map is not bugged and you move on. So he wanted some extra food. He knows the map. Props to Nicov. Understands that detail because he could have just been focused on all of this. And now he'll push in a little bit more. ACCM has actually been doing the same. And I think this will be his last zebra here. Thank you, Jimothy, for the year. Thank you, D-Slats, for almost 6 years. That's a crazy long time, man. Thank you, Edike, for the 2 years as well. Panks, almost 4. I love you guys. Thank you. Shout out again to Part-Time Buddha for the very not part-time donation. Sorry there's no llamas in this game. But we got 2 more sets today. Maybe we'll have some more llamas up here. Yeah, I think it took until maybe the last 2 years for my mom to no longer be like, because she's a worrier. I think it took until very recently for my mom to not worry as much about this whole thing. Because it's crazy to say, but I've almost been full-time for 10 years, right? But it's a very different situation now. When I went full-time, there was no Microsoft support. There was no definitive edition. It was like... That was, and streaming wasn't big, like videos weren't as big, like there was a very different time, but now it's been long enough that where I don't think she's worried that I'm going to be, you know, out on the street tomorrow or something. She does still worry about my lack of balance as a human being. It's always been a concern my mom has always talked to me about. So, son, you need to be more balanced. But luckily in this case, my addiction to Age of Empires actually balances out into, you know, my job. So you guys are incentivizing my addiction. Thank you. But yeah, love my family. They eventually came around, understand as much as they can, but they don't really get it as much. But when I showed my mom the Royal Albert Hall, which we'll be at for the Red Bull event, she was overjoyed. And I knew she was going to immediately go tell all her friends. I could just tell. She couldn't wait to brag to her friends at their little, like, tea parties or whatever. I don't know why. She doesn't have tea parties, but her little get-togethers. Because that's something that her friends can understand, you know? So, do you guys relate to family not really getting, like, I don't know, video games or live streaming or following something to this extent? I'm sure some of you do. I know a lot of you might have been shown a video game by your dad or something, right? I've heard that story a lot. For me, it was my older brother. My parents are not a big video game family, so... Guys, I think ACCM is going to castle drop Nikov's face right now. It's about to get crazy. I think this is a good call. If someone's trying to play monks against you, they have to wait until they build their monasteries to get any of that out. So, he doesn't know the golds are on the front, but this will actually be an excellent castle. Where is he going, though? I thought he would castle here, because if you castle here, you take down the market eventually, too, which is really nice. Why would you castle from this angle, ACCM? The stone and the gold is up here. I would want a castle on the side over here. Maybe he wants this castle because it disrupts the wood line, and then he can take this stone. But there we go. Nikov's going to be like, huh? And that castle's going up. That castle is definitely going up. Nikov's going to get loomed. And Nicov has to brace himself. This could be very strong. Okay, so some of you guys had, like, your dad show you some of the games, and some of your family has no clue. Okay. Well, it's cool. To give you an idea, my mom, and I feel bad for telling this story because it's been many years now, But one time she was helping me do my taxes. And she said, okay, let's do Voobly taxes now. And I had to explain. I was like, Mom, Voobly is the third-party platform where we're able to play the game. There's no, like, taxes. And then she would ask me, she would catch up with me. And she would say, how's the twitching? How's the twitching? I'm like, Mom, I don't have a Twitch. I stream on Twitch. It's different. And she's like, oh, okay. How's the twitching? So, yeah, that's my family. I like what Nikov's doing. We've got the stone walls. This win is really important, guys. I'm telling stories. Nikov's freaking out. If he wants to be greedy, he could try and get some of these relics, which is, of course, going to be good. He should know the relics are in the corners. Nicov really knows this map. He's going directly for them. And he is housewalled behind. And those villagers for ACCM ended up on hunts, interestingly enough. Wow, okay. So that could be a reason for castling down here, then. He does have a monastery, so maybe he'll eventually want to get some relics. But Nicov is just holding on. He's got a 10-villager lead and counting. The conquistadors have not killed him yet. But eventually, I think you need double monastery here. And even Bengali monks with their armor are not enough against a big group of conquistadors. So this really just comes down to if Nicov can get the conversions. He didn't get this relic. This monk is just chilling in the corner. He's looking for God right now. He's finding God off in the distance. He's supposed to find the relic, but instead, he's finding the Lord. Waiting for a burning bush or something over there. I don't know. Scout from Nicov checked the north. Maybe look to see if there was a monk there. He's got to check this way too. And ACCM is backed off. And ACCM is quite literally kind of hit a wall. And he was expecting there to be damage potential here. He does kill a villager. But that wall from Nicov is really good. He's just going to drop the third town center. So Nicov is correctly assessed. He's not doing any immediate damage to me. I can kind of chill so far. He's on the stone. This monk is done doing whatever he was doing. He's going to get the relic now. Nikov's also bringing in another relic. I like Nikov's position on ACCM's home map. And I can't help but feel like the castle for ACCM maybe could have been in the middle. And then he could at least be close to denying the gold, right? If the same thing happened, he would be denying this gold. But you don't know where the golds are going to be. Like in this case, ACCM has one on the side. I think if Nicov just plays towards a castle to protect his eco from a push, he wins this game. But there's still a window for ACCM to do some real damage. Now he's going to add in the siege. Nicov is an underrated player on closed maps. His eco is super strong. I know were some old memes with Nikov's eco, but his eco is looking really good. Relic number 3 for... No, 2 for Nicov, sorry. Okay, I see Vil standing around here. Nicov will build a castle. In between his town centers, he sees a ram. ACCM's adding the mangonel now. I'm not in love with this castle. I would have preferred the castle to be a bit riskier, actually. I think if the castle sat where my cursor is right now, it protects the town centers from a push a bit more. But obviously, you would lose more villagers then, too, so that's why Nicov places the safe one. The gold now, guys. The gold in the stone up here is such a big talking point. We just now see the second town center for ACCM. He's got the food, but he doesn't have the gold. He's also getting infantry armor. That has to be a mistake. So I don't use hotkeys for my blacksmith upgrades because I would not realize misclicks like this. He is getting infantry armor and he doesn't have infantry. I mean, let's see if he notices that, but that's 100 food basically down the drain. And he's also going to assume that he has the armor on his conchs. To be honest, though, the armor on the conchs isn't really needed against monks. It's not armor from God. That would be devotion, which he might get because he does have the monastery, and it's trending that direction. ACCM also focused, looking over this way now with some conchs and some scouts, hoping to stop Nicov from taking the res there. But yeah, Nicov will lose this TC because the castle was a little bit further back. He's very scared with those monks, unsure what to do. But maybe not, though. He does have a mangonel coming. Nicov is running out of space. He's getting very claustrophobic. ACCM will drop a town center here. Thank you, Hunsy, and thank you, Green Dragon, for the primes. primers rise up, and Nicov with the kill. Nice. Nice work. Who wins this game, guys? I mean, that eco advantage is significant for Nicov, and now he's defended his town center. But ACCM has Conquistadors. And ACCM is the one controlling the game, and ACCM has the confidence, being up 2 games already. I think it comes down to the North, which is now going to be under some slight control for ACCM, but Nicov will notice that. And Nicov is now bringing his units out this way. But it's tough, because you always need to respect these Conquistadors here. Yeah, look at him pull all those villas away. Ratha are coming this way from Nicov. Monks and Siege are coming to pressure the town center. I think it's a good risk to take. You have the castle here. You could always have a monk here. He is going to lose his blacksmith and maybe his market, which could be pretty awkward, having to rebuild those with lack of space. Nicov is super torn on what to do. Look, he was going to go push this town center, and now he's coming back home because this is starting to do some real damage to him. Still no town center. He is getting that relic, though. He is going to have the monks out there in the middle. Monks with no sanctity yet. Mangonel hits the conks, but the conks will just get healed up. Now the armor upgrade's coming in for ACCM, so he'll realize. 0 upgrades on the Ratha for Nicov. 0 upgrades on the monks. Monks are out here on their own. That one just got sniped by the conks. There is a lot to manage. There is a lot to manage for Nicov. Including what he does with those villagers, right? Like, is he going to farm with them? He just had to delete all of his walls. ACCM dropping his 4th town center now. We are starting to see engagements with the conks and the Ratha, though. And Nikov's certainly got the eco. He'll snipe the monk. He doesn't lose a unit to a conversion. The Ratha are tanky enough to do okay. He only is fletching. Might need to get Bodcanero here if you're Nicov. Where is monks? His monks are still chilling out here. These monks are really important to heal up and to get conversions. There's a monk. He loses that one. But he will take down this ram. Still maintains the villager lead. And now his monks. Oh, he'll get 2. He'll get 2. He'll get 2. That's super worth it. If he can get the relic and then kill this monk as well, this could be nice. That monk should die. No! They didn't hit a damn thing, dude! Did you see that shot? Conquistadors are insane until they're not. He didn't hit it. He loses the conk. The monks need to back away. The Ratha are coming over now because the threat has been finished. And now all the Conquistadors for ACCM are looping back over to this side. He has been on stone this whole time. He's been on stone. He still has some gold. He's starting to run dry. So is Nicov. Nicov will come over here. Nikov's definitely hard committing to the Ratha now with the monks. I think he can kind of ignore this. Easier said than done, of course. I think he needs to pressure here. This whole northern area is cracked terrain, so buildings take a lot more damage. It's really hard to keep town centers up against mangonels on the hill. This town center is going to go down fast. But there's these tiny details for ACCM. He healed up all of his conks with the monks. Nicov didn't. And the conks run in, and the conks snipe the mangonels just like that. Beautiful play from ACCM. He's also going to get the armor upgrade for the conks. Would love to see bloodlines too. And so much for the buildings going down quickly. ACCM being patient. Nicov will have ballistics for his Ratha. He dropped the barracks. I think he wants to follow up stable for bloodlines. ACCM's already doing that out of his stable now. So the conks should be very good here. But there's still not a lot of security for this area for ACCM. And he's still down 20 vills. Nicov will find stone. Nicov will find the gold. Nikov's got 35 on food. ACCM has 40-something on food, though. He's done a great job at recovering there. Nicov seems super paranoid. Oh, there was a petard. There was a petard. The petard came through. Nikov's going to pull his entire army back to clear this now and maybe get pulled out of position. That's a great play from ACCM. I mean, he might not kill a lot with it, but it pulls the army out of position. That's what it does. So Nicov brings everything back to clear this. That's an easy clear. But now on the hill goes ACCM. Man, I love stuff like that. Like, that is just a strategic move, right? It's not micro. It is not even the unit difference. It is just controlling the game. Even has a little missionary in there. And now he's going to have the hill. And now Nicov has to bring everything back. And ACCM will take another mangonel. He's killed 3 mangonels. The siege has done nothing. Look at the missionary follow, too. I love that. Good old conquistador and donkey action. Good old conk and donk. And he's got a crazy eco. He's got maybe the best unit out of the castle in Age of Empires. The micro's looking good. He's not on the way to imp yet. But this engagement is just so much better for ACCM. Conquistadors are just the better unit, it seems. I think Rothar are okay. If you get a couple armor upgrades on them, it makes a really big difference. And yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Nikov's holding. Nikov's imping. Nicov has stone. Nicov has gold. ACCM now imping 2. And we'll drop even another town center there. What a crazy game. Man, that petard play, I can't get over it. That was so cool. Because Nicov always holds the hill if that doesn't happen. And I saw the petards in there, but even when I'm trying to be my most creative, I didn't even think it would do anything. I thought he was going to use it for here, but obviously the nice little distraction was perfect. 10 villager kills for ACCM this game. Nicov will get 2 villagers out of every single town center when he hits the next stage, and he's got 4 TCs. So he'll get a boost of 8. And he's got stone, and he's got gold for now. He will run dry, but he does have it. Stables in the back for ACCM. I think you always want to be playing with conquistadors with Spanish. But if your opponent's adding skirms, then you could go Lycav for that. And for now, he doesn't seem too scared. The conks can get in close and one-shot everything. It's a little risky, to be honest. This is a little too crazy. But he does still have the attack over here. And maybe he knows Nicov hasn't noticed. I say too crazy, but he only lost 2 units in there. Now he's backing off. Nikov's building another university. So maybe he's expecting that he's going to lose this one. Or maybe he just forgot because the game is crazy. But Nicov now has a 20 vil lead again. He's in the Imperial Age. Definitely doesn't seem like he remembers he has this university right now. I just think the pressure is adding up here for Nicov. But he will get Bracer. He could also make Trebs to take down this castle. And pretty soon ACCM will only have the castles in the north. Back away, Nicov. He didn't know about that castle. And he calls the GG. Wow. He calls the GG when the population's even. Nicov does not believe he can do this. Upon seeing this castle, upon all the reactions that ACCM has forced out of him, he just feels like he is going to be fighting an uphill battle here. And ACCM wins round 2 with a sweep. Great performance from him. Now, I would love to see Nicov play this on a little bit longer. We can see the populations. You see it's 150 pop for both. But you look at the score in the game. You look at everything Nicov knows. He is completely surrounded. He does not have as much stone and gold. He has been losing units nonstop. I think he'd be a little surprised maybe to know that he has the villager lead based on how this game flowed. What a great game from ACCM. I think the critical moment in the game was actually the petards. I want to go back to that point, and poor observing on my part because I should have shown that when it was happening, but there was a lot of action happening here. And I remember being like, why is Nicov running, right? But it was immediate, right? Here comes this play. So let's just pretend this isn't here for half a second, okay? Nicov he will have control of this hill. He has his monks. He has his Ratha. I know conks are strong, but you're fighting on the hill with ballistics. This is a position that's better for Nicov. And economically, he's ahead as well. So what ACCM needs is he needs to gain this hill. And he petard busts here. Nicov has to drop the houses. He has to, react to this. And he brings all of his army home. Like, he just gives up the hill. Now, that might be a poor move. I think you need to hold the hill and then react with this with some walls and wait to make a couple units from your castle. I think he overreacted there, but he overreacted because of the amazing pressure from ACCM. And ACCM, the entire game, honestly, the entire series, it was ACCM in control and Nicov just reacting. So it was the same thing. In game number 1, ACCM, there was the fight on water, and then he cleared up Nicov on land and surprised him. ACCM's just a beast. Great performance. I did not expect a sweep. I thought that would be a 2-1 for ACCM. So my prediction contest isn't going quite as smoothly here because the favorites have been the much bigger favorites, it seems.